Hi guys, welcome back. So today's video is gonna be a yonsei Q&A. I've been getting a lot of questions about yonsei, so I thought I'd just answer them in all one video. And hopefully the audio is okay because I'm trying out a microphone for the first time. So yeah. Okay, first question is, have you ever felt homesick or alone? And if yes, does it get better? Honestly, no. I've never felt homesick, and I think the most important way to not feel homesick is to just make a lot of friends. So most of my friends are from VSA, shout out VSA right here, and my roommate, shout out Gianna. I literally hung out with her like all semester, and some friends from the Incheon Global campus, which is like a 10-minute walk away from me, was actually originally supposed to go to George Mason, Korea. That's where I had committed. That's where I paid my deposit. But then a month after I paid, Yonsei came out with the results, and I decided to go there instead. And um, when I was committed to George Mason, I had already found a roommate for the Korea campus, so we were still friends when I landed, and I just hung out with her, and then she introduced me to a lot of her friends at George Mason. And also, I was in the Buddha Club. Um, I really didn't become close friends with anyone in there, but I did meet some upperclassmen, and it was good for like networking. Yeah. Sometimes I do get lonely when all my friends are busy, but if that happens, I just do some work or like go to sleep or something. Second question, how's the workload? Are the courses and assignments, exams really tough? To be honest, it's not that bad, but to be fair, I did take AP courses in high school. Compared to honors courses, I do think it is like more assignments. Also, I get my assignments done like fairly quickly. Just for reference, last semester I had around 100 to 150 assignments, including readings, across 5 classes. So that's like 20, 30 assignments per class. Divided by 4 months is around 1 to 2 assignments a week per class. So maybe like um, five, 5 to 8 assignments per week in total. Third one is your major heavy? Um, Not yet. I think my major will be a lot of reading, but right now I'm still taking common curriculum courses, which are like my gen eds, so I haven't taken any major courses yet. I'm gonna start taking major courses next semester though, so I guess I'll let you guys know. Next is recommended professors for common curriculum. Just a disclaimer, I can't give any professors to avoid because I think that would just be rude. But so far, my recommendations for last semester, based on what I took last semester, are Intro to Econ. I took Im Young Cook. There's really only 2 professors, and most people regard him as the easier one. Freshman writing, I heard Kang Ji-hye and Steiner are both good. Critical reasoning, I had, in my opinion, the best professor, but he doesn't teach at Yonsei anymore. He transferred to another college. Um, so I'm not really sure. RDQM, I heard Robertson Jeffrey and Edward Choi are both good. Understanding Christianity, everyone tries to get Shakespeare. For LHP, I took Shin Jung-ju for World Lit, and it was pretty good. I really liked it, although other people might disagree. Um, West and East Civ, you only get one professor for each, so I would recommend contacting someone who has every time so you can see the reviews or ask the upperclassmen for recommendations. Okay. Fifth question. Yeah. Do you have any regrets? I did not study at all for Western during the first half of the semester. So I literally got less than 50% on my midterm. And as a result, like I was grinding like crazy for finals to and barely got an A0. So I would honestly say, like, study as much as you can, even though I know the content is very packed and like the class is online, so you might not be like encouraged to study. But if you do well in the midterm, like, you won't have to fight for the final like I did. Yeah. Next question, someone asked if you feel like studying in English is worse than studying in Korean. Okay, honestly, and this is just my opinion, honestly, I do think that the regular track, which is like the main yonsei, like where all the Koreans go, is much more difficult than UIC. I'm gonna try to say this in the best way possible, but I honestly do believe like they dumb some of the materials down for us. But that's just my opinion on common curriculums. I haven't taken major courses, so I don't know. I can't speak about that. It's just I think that it's a little bit harder for Koreans to get into yonsei than for international students. So that's why the standards are a little bit different, the standards of education. Next one is best part about studying at UIC. In my opinion, it truly is international, even though it's like 70% Korean and like 30% international students. There are a lot of Koreans who've lived abroad. My roommate, one of my roommates, not Gianna, lived in India and Panama, and there are Koreans who've lived in Europe, like Philippines, like all around the globe really. And there are international students from everywhere, like Europe, like Sweden, Africa, although actually like only a handful of students are from Africa, Indonesia, Malaysia, China, Vietnam. I feel like in America it is diverse, but most people are second-gen immigrants, if that. So it's not really international, if you know what I mean. Next one is difficulties when living in Songdo are your most memorable moments. So if you don't know, all freshmen are required to live at Songdo, which is in Incheon. It's our international campus. I don't really know why they put us here, but for UIC, some majors, you get to go to the Sinchon campus, the main campus, after your freshman year, but a lot of the majors, you stay down there. Thankfully, my major will be going to the Sinchon campus, so I'm saying bye-bye to Seoul soon. But it takes forever to go to Seoul. Like, if you want to go to the main campus, it takes around an hour and a half with the school shuttle. That's like the one that literally just go directly from the international campus to the main campus. And the shuttle doesn't run on the weekend. So on the weekend, the public bus that goes to Seoul comes every 30 minutes to 1 hour. And ours is the first stop, so we never know when the bus is gonna come. And the bus ride is literally like 2 hours. So there isn't a lot of things to do in Songdo. Like, it is quite boring, but I guess you could look at it as a good thing because it is peaceful. Although on the weekends, it gets a little too peaceful. Like, everyone goes home and it just feels like a ghost town. Most memorable experience was probably going to get ice cream with my friend at like 12 a.m. I don't know why I did that, but it was pretty fun. Next question is, what's the difference between enrolling in the fall and in the spring? So Yonsei has actually two enrollment periods every year, which is the spring, which is the main enrollment. That's when the school year starts for a lot of the Koreans. So that's when most Korean students will come. And then the fall semester, which is when most international students will come, in my opinion. My advice, enroll in the spring if you can. Please enroll in the spring. I regret enrolling in the fall so much. Spring students get so many more benefits because it's the main season to enroll. So they get orientations, trips to meet other new students, and connect, a homeroom group chat, more merch. I know that most students' first friends are from their homerooms, and a lot of them are still close after first year. I came in the fall, so it was mostly just other international students enrolling at the same time. We literally got a tote bag and a water bottle for our merch. Like, and no OT, no homeroom. Our homeroom literally sent like one text the whole semester. Overall, I would say do not rush enrolling, even though I totally understand the FOMO when all your friends are going to college in the fall. I mean, if you don't care about the socialization aspect, then I guess you can go in the fall. But otherwise, I would really, really recommend going in the spring. Okay, couple last questions. So, someone asked about the difference between Koreans and international students, like how they're treated. Um, I've noticed that it gets quite cliquey at my school, so the internationals all hang out with each other, and there are even subgroups like the Vietnamese students, the Chinese students, and the Koreans really do stick to themselves. Obviously, I'm not saying like they don't befriend outside of their groups, but a lot of their close friends, I think, are within their own groups. I feel like it's hard to mingle with the Koreans if you don't speak Korean, just because they're more comfortable with speaking Korean, which is totally valid, like that's their country. Even if they've lived abroad, I think I've noticed that they still speak Korean to each other. And that's honestly one of the reasons why I'm trying to work on my Korean. Otherwise, no one is like outwardly racist or anything, but I am saying that as like an Asian person living in Korea, so experiences could be different if you're like South Asian or like darker skin or a person of color. Okay, best places to hang out or study on campus. I know the Veritas B Study Lounge literally hates to be coming. There's so many outlets, and they even have couches. Sometimes I go to sleep in between classes if I'm too lazy to go back to my dorm that's like 2 minutes away. Um, for some reason, and this might be an unpopular opinion, I don't really like the library that much. But I do really love the study room in the dorm, like the big one, not the computer one, because I feel like I'm forced to lock in there. Everyone is super locked in, and so I'm like, I have this pressure to do the same. Um, for hanging out, my friend really weirdly loves the community room, which I really dislike actually, because other people can come in and it doesn't really feel that private. But maybe she liked the community room because her roommate wouldn't allow her to speak in her room. Her roommate like would get mad if she talks to her friends or like on the phone or whatever. So maybe that's why. I honestly I don't usually hang out on campus. I like to go to Triple Street or Campus Town to eat and hang out with friends. But there are some spots like the benches and um, there are rooms on the first floor of the dorms. At least the dorm two, at least. There's like the board game room. Yeah, and we were hanging out there quite a lot during final season last semester. Okay, lastly, tips for course registration. Make 2, even 3 plans so you can have backups because you most likely will not get all of your first choices. Read the Common Curriculum Guidelines closely. Read it twice and then read it another time. I feel like a lot of questions people have can easily be answered if you just look at the handbook about what classes you have to take, what classes are available, graduation requirements. That's all in the handbook. So, and it's in English. So, research professors if you can. But my first sem, I couldn't really research professors because I didn't even know anyone at the school, and honestly, it wasn't too bad. I just ended up with one professor I didn't really like, but everything else was okay. Personally, I like to take late classes, like from 11 a.m. onwards, because I need my beauty sleep, but that's honestly just me. The earliest class you can take is 9 a.m., but I usually don't recommend that. Usually people take their classes at like 10 a.m. So we have class periods, and it's not like irregular, like a class would be like an hour and 20 minutes. Like classes are either 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours. Um, the common curriculums are going to be separated on 2 days, one day with 1 hour and one day with 2 hours. And then a lot of the major classes are 3 hours long once a week. So take that into account when you're planning your schedule. And also, like, make sure you leave time in between your classes for meals. Like, when I was planning my first semester, I was so ambitious and I put like 5 classes on my Monday from 9 a.m. to like 7 p.m. And I was like, and then I realized like I didn't have time to eat. And I was like, oh, alright, let me change that. And so here's my course schedule for semester. It was really good, yeah. And I didn't have any classes on Friday, so that's a plus. Okay, that's all the questions I had. I'll do a separate video about why I chose to study in Korea, like why I chose to get education abroad for all 4 years. And if you guys want any more videos, let me know in the comments. Any more questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll try my best to answer them. Okay, thank you. Bye.